Boy, Lisa, your office looks really clean.
Be nice. It's cleaner if you looked at my desk. I just spent the last hour trying to get through some old paperwork.
All right, you should be live.
Are we good to start?
We are good to go, I think. All right.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. Welcome everyone to our special trustee meeting. Today is Wednesday, December 16th, 2020. Ms. Kraft, if you could please call roll.
Thank you. Mr. Rivers,
Here?
Mr. Grumbles,
Here.
Ms. Taranto.
Here.
We have two items here this evening. We have a staffing change and the appropriations to cover. So to start things off with our staffing matter, I will turn it over to Administrator King.
Thank you. Or is this coming through? Are you able to see the template clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So fiscal officer Kraft on the next one has an assistant fiscal officer that she'd like to hire. So what we talked about before was moving Patty over to the administration side and then hire the fiscal officer. So wanted to move forward with doing that. It's the operations and procurement specialist position description that I shared with everyone a little bit ago. And once we vacate this position, then I'll turn it over to Lisa to take care of the next position. So I'll be happy to answer any questions, but I would just ask the board to begin the this process.
Do we have any questions, comments? All right, well, I'll make the motion to approve resolution 20-399 for the appointment to a full-time position of operations and procurement specialist.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
Yes.
Okay, well then I'll roll into mine. Hopefully you each got a chance to look at the resume for Todd Toby, who we would like to bring on board as our assistant fiscal officer. As you can see, he's got 34, I think, years experience in this type of role. So we're excited to bring his expertise on board. So are there any questions?
Just want to make sure I'm clear. So we'll get him in and then trained and transition, and then she'll take on the new role at the time that there's alignment and agreement on way ahead. Is that correct?
That's correct. Right now, we've kind of targeted that for 30 days, but I think Andrew and I are both flexible, and if it's quicker, then she goes quicker. If not, then she hangs out a little bit longer.
Yeah, and I think the reason I wanted to clarify is obviously there's things that surface less consistently than others. I think the day-to-day stuff and the normal stuff will transition fine, but once those ad hoc things surface, the fact that you guys are okay with her flexing back in and making sure he can succeed in his role and has all the resources available, I think that's a good thing. So I appreciate the collaboration there.
Yep, thanks.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 20-400, the appointment of Todd Toby to full-time position of assistant fiscal officer and establishment of compensation.
Second.
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
Yes.
Okay. Then next we can, if you don't mind, Chair, I would like to just roll into the appropriations.
Yes, please.
Okay, so after we talked the last time, we made kind of the changes that were discussed. Hopefully you had a chance to look at the updated worksheets. I had highlighted in yellow anything that had changed. as well as added some additional comments in the cells that you can see, like history of road salt expenses and things like that. The big changes were obviously in parks and roads. We brought down, Bill went back and looked at the North Road project, and we brought that number down. And then we confirmed we should be getting a grant payment next year in the amount of, let me see, what was that cost? In the amount of about almost $500,000 on that Lewis Center Trail. So that brought the cost down on that. Then the road levy, we took out the 2.3 million for Bell Canyon and just kind of scaled it down to a phase 1A, which is, we've already started the road right-of-way acquisition. So this is just finishing that part of the project. Oh, and we also moved all the road salaries and road expenses back to general, as requested in the last meeting. And if you look at the other worksheet I sent, it shows everything is in the black. As far as we are not, at this point, there would be no need to transfer from general excuse me, to any of the other funds. And I also added a column just so we can keep an eye on this. Oops, I apologize. Year over year on how much we are spending versus, excuse me, how much we're spending of our anticipated revenue over, how much we're spending over our anticipated revenue. So that was an interesting thing to look at, and figured we could kind of continue to watch this year over year so we keep an eye to make sure we don't spend down too much of our reserves.
Been asking for that for 9 years, so thank you for making that happen.
No problem.
Anything else to add? Any questions, comments?
I think she did a great job for being the first appropriations that she has done, and I think it's understandable, makes sense, and I'm in support of it.
As long as we have the flexibility that we discussed last call, I'm supportive of it. And I would echo that. I think not only with this, I think you've done a good job for 8 months now. And you've taken the control of the department and added your touch to it. And I've been really impressed with the product you've put out, and the pace that you've set for yourself and for the township from a fiscal standpoint has been pretty impressive. It feels more like you've been in the role a lot longer than a couple of months. So thank you for, and to couple that, it's been a crazy year. We both started this year, and I think it was not the easiest of circumstances, and we've gone through substantial change. I had flashbacks in the staffing discussion of the past, and just the way this was handled speaks volumes to the changes in the township and the improvement, professionalism and respect, baseline respect, I think, for coworkers. So I'm happy that you're here, and I think you've done a great job. So thank you for putting this together. And I know you've put a ton of time into analytics and data gathering since you've been on board, with a lot of people working remotely and adding to the time it takes to get results and communicate. So thank you for all the workarounds. And most people don't understand that the lion's share of the day-to-day work, it comes out of your office from a executive standpoint. So I appreciate all your dedication and the time you've put into the role. You've done a great job.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you both for those kind comments. It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 20-401, approval of the 2021 permanent appropriations.
Second?
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Taranto.
Yes.
And I know the appropriations are a lot of work, and it is a very busy office. So Really appreciate your efforts and all your hard work as well, Lisa. And I also want to congratulate Mrs. Lewis on the new position and welcome aboard Mr. Toby.
Thank you very much.
Just to throw it out there that all the directors did do their own appropriations, so I don't want to throw them under the bus. It is a lot of work, so thanks, everybody.
I think they did that last year too, if I'm not mistaken. And I think this year, just the turnaround time and the how fluid it was, didn't hear a ton about it. The team really came together and worked hard. So, and I'm sure, Andrew, that you were involved in that too. So the whole team, really proud of for all their efforts. So thank you all.
Yeah.
I would just sort of share with the board. I think that from my perspective, Lisa really took the bull by the horns and really helped with this. So from my perspective, I do think she appropriately is receiving the lion's share of the accolades. But yeah, I mean, I think it is also accurate. Michelle, Bill, and even Matt before he left got things in pretty good order, and then Scott took a look at it. So
Yep. And Andrew, I'm glad you mentioned Captain Rice, because as I sat here and thought, want to continue to thank him for stepping up and the job that he's doing there. I know it's not easy and there's a lot going on, and the way that he's led and what I've seen from him, I think we're really lucky that he's a part of our team. So hoping to have the ability to work with them more. Finally, I haven't been able to work in person with a lot of people this whole year, unfortunately. So thank you, Captain Rice, and appreciate your continued service.
Thank you.
All right. Well, job well done by all. Do you have anything else to add for this evening? All right. Well, with that, I will make the motion to adjourn.
Second?
Mr. Rivers,
Yes.
Mr. Grumbles,
Yes.
Ms. Transo.
Yes.